Season 1, it's going to be Cruella. Season 2, you can just jump to the Shadow Man.
God, I would love to see it. Also, seeing Ursula. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Having Ursula being a drag queen on screen.
And welcome to the session. Today, we are going to be talking a little bit about Disney Plus.
Yeah, so for this sessions, we're setting ourselves in the shoes of developers of creative content for Disney Plus streaming service. We are trying to think on how to expand the universe of all these villains, starting with Cruella, taking this example and trying to enrich and grow and optimize this new movie and turn it into something bigger, something that keeps drawing the attention of an audience and actually redirects people not just to the movie theaters but actually to the streaming service. So what's the idea?
Right now, the way things are, it's that if you have Disney Plus, you have access to some of the content and the new things that are coming out, like movies. Some certain movies, you need to pay for that movie. But it's kind of like if the movie was in the theater. You have like a month, probably a little bit more than a month, to exploit that movie. And after that, you kind of like done with the product. Now, how can we expand this product, this team, in this case, for example, Cruella? How can we expand it to start getting a little bit more traction and, why not, more money out of the product that we are actually doing? So we were thinking, okay, if you already said that they want to do all this villain universe, why not transform all that into series?
You already have the movie of Cruella. Well, you kind of see her growing up until, without further or spoiling anything, until she becomes this iconic character.
I think it's a really good idea because you were already thinking about doing the films, so that's kind of like a pattern that you can follow. Like you take
Sure.
you put the movie out. If the movie is good, if it's been a success, what kind of like what Cruella it's doing right now, then okay, it's a product that is gonna work. It's gonna sell. So now we can focus on the series. Okay, this work. People are saying that they didn't like this, so we're gonna go this way, or we're gonna try to focus on young adults and teenagers.
It will be great for me to see a series maybe inspired in the Shadow Man from Princess and the Frog. It's a villain that's amazing, and I think it's an not so commercial one. You get me? Like, it wasn't as big as maybe Ursula or Scar. Like the Shadow Man, it's kind of just in this villain in the shadows and not that exploited. And it will be so interesting of seeing maybe a series of him, like knowing how he got into all this voodoo. Because also you're talking about a huge culture that we haven't seen in TVs or streaming or movies. It's underrepresented and it's so important. You can have all the history around New Orleans. You can have all the cultural baggage of this kind of witchy mood and everything. Seeing on a screen, having all this magic will be amazing with the effects they have now.
What that's going to give you is more people paying for a Disney Plus subscription. You can have a series. It can be like a series where season 1 it's going to be Cruella. Season 2 you can just jump to the Shadow Man. Season 3 you can just be jumping from one thing to another, and it could be like the villains universe if you want to.
Like, oh my God, I would love to see it. Also, seeing Ursula. Oh my God, that would be amazing. And talking about inclusion and talking about diversity, I know like The Little Mermaid now it's going to be played by a woman of color. You can have Ursula that was inspired in an actor and in a drag queen called Divine, like having Ursula being a drag queen on screen and having all these new faces, these new topics that are current, not only for young adults, but for the kids that are growing up. Like, you can talk about topics that maybe 10, 15, or even 20 years ago you couldn't because TV was so strict.
Netflix, at least in Latin America, they're having a lot of success with this bio series. And it's something that Disney is not exploiting right now. And I think they're losing a lot of creative things that they could be doing with this. Because just imagine a series of Walt Disney, based or going into the same line of Saving Mr. Banks, of Walt before Mickey,
Yes.
Or if you want to go a little bit beyond, like create a universe of creators. You can have Walt Disney, and then you can have
You have Lewis Carroll.
From the Alice in Wonderland. Then you can have the creator of Peter Pan, based on the movie with Johnny Depp that it was Finding Neverland. So just imagine those series going on Disney Plus, where they can be talking about things that are a little bit more deep, kind of like what Cruella is kind of like doing right now, not as dark, because it's still for kids. It's still family friendly, like everything that Disney does.
Come on, we're on the age of remakes, redos, everything. But we don't have to see what we already saw, but we can use these characters. And to be honest, the evolution from a movie like Maleficent and now Cruella, it's a completely different approach.
Yeah.
And it's really good, it's really nice, and that's what is making it so interesting. Yet they're calling Cruella the Joker from Disney. And I think it's a good thing, showing how Disney can still talk about delicate topics, yet it's still a Disney movie. It feels like a Disney movie.
A movie is a product that is just going to take you to a limit. There's just so much that you can do with a movie. But if you take a series, you do season 1, it's doing good. Season 2, season 3, like we said. From this character is doing really good. We do a spin-off. We open the universe a little bit more. I mean, there's just so many things that you can be doing right now, that they can be doing right now with all this. And Disney is really good playing with nostalgia.
Oh my god.
So this will be perfect. It's perfect for people who already know these characters, and people who it's the first time that it's going to be seeing these characters.
Yeah, it's entertainment for the grown-ups who grew up with these characters, and the kids who are just immersing themselves into the Disney universe. It's, once again, a family-friendly Disney product to create. And I guess this will conclude the session for today. We hope to hear from you. Leave us some comments and we'll be looking at it. Let us know what you think, if you agree, if you have any idea. Let us know what villain you would love to see on screen. And see you on the next session.